Hey, what's happening people, Naughty Morty here, back again on another lovely Sunday to talk to you about Battlefield 6, and more specifically, we're here to talk about weapons, and what weapons might appear in the new modern Battlefield 6 title, of course if we are looking at a modern shooter. I've picked one weapon for each major Battlefield class, and I've used the same class breakdown as Battlefield 4, obviously with it being the last major modern shooter in the BF series, and the format that I hope that we do go back to. So first and foremost, for the Assault class, I've picked the L85 A3 Assault Rifle. Now the L85 has been seen many times in Battlefield games previously, however the L85 A3 is the brand new variant which began service for the British military in 2018. If we look back at Battlefield 4 and it obviously being set in 2020, it also had the L85 A2. I think if we brought the A3 into the next game, it would show a natural progression within this series due to the immediate real world developments that are going on within weapons and warfare. Personally, I think the weapon should feel very similar to the older L85 counterparts, again if we look back at the A2 in Battlefield 4 which was added with the China Rising DLC. Therefore, it's versatile across all ranges, but not really a master of any. Now if we move on to the Engineer class, and again we're looking at a submachine gun this time, I'd like to see the introduction of the PPK-20. This is a brand new 9mm submachine gun being made by the Kalashnikov group and is being given to the Russian military this year in 2021. Of course, with it being a submachine gun, it's going to be built for those close quarter combat specialists, getting into tight conflicts, blasting people through with a higher rate of fire, and just generally getting up in people's faces. I think a weapon like this would be really effective when teamed with breaching tactics, or using ordnance from the Engineer class to open up new routes to objectives like blowing holes in walls. Of course, with a high rate of fire also comes a high recoil, so you'll have zero control at range and it is definitely going to be an exclusively close quarters weapon. Now if we move to the Support class, I thought we could bring in the Negev NG7 light machine gun. This is a slightly older weapon as it began seeing use from 2012 within the Israeli military forces, of course being made famous in video games like Counter-Strike Global Offensive more notably. Now the Negev in Counter-Strike is the Commando variant, which has a shorter barrel and a grip rather than bipod. However, with the Battlefield customization, you'll of course be able to chop and change those as and when you'd like, so it can be used both in positional or aggressive play. The Negev itself has a 150 round magazine and a higher rate of fire in real life than the M249, so it's definitely a spraying machine which can suppress a lot of enemies very quickly. This will be perfect for that mid-range support role, laying down covering fire as your team advances, depending on the level of suppression that we see in Battlefield 6. And lastly, and probably most interestingly, for the Recon class, I picked the Barrett Mrad sniper rifle. This has just been approved for use by the US military in 2021. Now Mrad stands for multi-role adaptive design, which can be switched between 8 different calibers of bullets by loosening the torque screws and replacing the barrel of the weapon on the go. It would be cool if this kind of feature would be implemented into Battlefield, so you could instantly change the range at which you could engage enemies while playing as a Recon class. And I think this would tie nicely into the unprecedented scale we've been hearing about from DICE. If the maps are going to be larger, we're going to need more versatility, particularly with the Recon class, and so having the ability to chop and change your loadout on the fly whilst in combat could be really effective. Those are just a few of the options that I've noted, but there are plenty of new military weapons that are coming out on a regular basis and could definitely update the modern shooter aesthetic of Battlefield. So let me know in the comments what weapons you might be interested in seeing in Battlefield 6, or if you're just happy with the roster that we had in Battlefield 4. But as always guys, I appreciate you spending your time here. I hope you've enjoyed the video and finding out a little bit more about some of the modern military weapons that could become available in Battlefield 6. And if so, please do hit that like button, it really does help with engagement. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I'll catch you all next weekend.